Welcome to the new set, The Neurotic Guitarist, or as I like to call it, Guitar Heaven. What you just saw was my last house, where I built my recording studio over 16 years ago, and over that period of time, kept buying more guitars, putting more stuff on the walls, until I turned it into what became the set for the Neurotic Guitarist. So when my wife came to me and said, "Benny, Charlie needs a bigger yard that he can run around. The dog? Yes, Charlie, our dog! I'm not feeling doing all of my work every day surrounded by your guitars and your shoes, and well, I'd like to have a few closets of my own. We gotta get out of here." You want me to move all of this? Well, that sounds anxiety-inducing. To be able to sell my last house, I had to get rid of 90% of the stuff that I had in it so I could even show people what the house looked like, because I had a ton of stuff. Some might call me a hoarder. I'd like to call it a musical collector of cool things with not enough space. The first order of business was going up to my attic, getting all the cases, the hundreds of cases, handing them down to my friend Josh or to my wife Cindy so that I could get all my guitars positioned in the living room that had no space in the first place. So I had to then go to my dear friends Kevin and Carol and beg them, please, can I commandeer your basements for a few months? They actually helped me. Kevin showed up with his big truck just to start taking all of my guitars to his house and then some to Carol's house, and well, it was a whole big to-do. So then I had to go pack up over 500 pictures framed on my walls, all of my amplifiers, all of the cables and computers and hard drives, and make some sort of sense of them and all the pedals that went along with them. I know for a fact I had over 1,000 pounds just in cables and boxes. If you would push one on top of me, it very well would kill me. That's how I felt. But then you wonder, well, what's the point of all of this? I have to quote one of my favorite authors, Kurt Vonnegut. Go into the arts. I'm not kidding. The arts are not a way to make a living. True story, Kurt. They are a very human way of making life more bearable. Practicing an art, no matter how well or badly, is a way to make your soul grow, for heaven's sake. Sing in the shower, dance to the radio, tell stories, write a poem to a friend, even a lousy poem. Do it as well as you possibly can. You will get an enormous reward. You will have created something. I am going to create something new here that will be even better than where I was before. I felt so disconnected because for so long I had the ability to go downstairs and be able to create. When it was all in boxes, I just realized how much I missed you guys, but also how important it is for me every single day to play music and to be constantly creating and thinking and moving forward. I consider myself a composer first, a producer engineer second, and a player third, collector distant fourth. Those top three I take very seriously. My greatest skill is to hear the whole picture of a song and bring it to life, track by track, in my guitar heaven. Of course, when you start all over, you think to yourselves, what are the things that I can do better this time? Maybe I didn't have so good last time. First thing I thought to myself was my amplifiers. If you wanted to plug in the Splon instead of the VHT, you had to go behind and move 4 heads and all those cabinets, and if that stuff fell, there was a distinct possibility you'd be paralyzed. I would just go in the other room and plug in my Kemper. If I built an amp wall, something that would make Yngwie Malmsteen or Joe Perry very, very happy, that I am able to utilize it easily without having to risk my own life just to plug things in properly. So I called my buddy Andrew, can you build me an amp wall? And Andrew, he's a very talented individual. He can build almost anything out of anything from anything. But in particular, he's a wood guy. Now look at this thing. He brings it down. Hey, Benny, you want to help me put the final touches on and feel like you did something? So he brought it down, he installed it, and we French polished it. He basically built me a spot for all of my heads. And my buddy Josh sends me a link to this guy named Delisle. Jer Delisle makes a 20-to-1 amp switcher. I've never seen anything like it. So I call Jer up and I ask him, hey, can I plug in 16 heads and go to 4 different cabinets? Yeah. About 10 days later, my 16x4 Delisle amp switcher showed up. And after about 6-7 hours worth of wiring and pulling my hair out and going out of my mind and wondering why things sound like crap, my friend Josh and I were able to get the amp well operational. Very happy to say that moving forward, I will not only be able to use my Kemper, but all of my amps all plugged into one little device. Anytime you're building a basement studio, you're dealing with a lot of limitations. My last place, the ceilings were 7 feet. They're only 6'10" here. That is not ideal for studio conditions. You always have to balance functionality, science, versus budget. So you do the best you can with what you have. There are acoustic tiles all over the ceilings, all over the walls. The real studios, done the right way, are all going the way of the dodo because no bands can afford to pay thousands of dollars a day anymore. None of these places that are 50,000 square feet, 100,000 square feet can stay open anymore. You have people in their basement doing full records, and technology, while it was lacking back in the day, has become so incredibly good that you can pretty much do almost anything anywhere if you know what you're doing, and you can work around virtually anything. So despite the fact that my room is not ideal, I'm still gonna make badass sounding recordings down here. Back in the day, I used to have to do my stuff out in my guitar room, and then I have to go to my control room and set up all my Pro Tools. Nah, guys, it's all right down there. So if I want to plug in my guitar, I just go boop right there. If I want to mic that, it's all right over there. If I want to have a singer sing in the control room, they can sing right here, or I can go to my drum room. It's basically a jam room. So if I want to go over in there and play guitar and jam with my drummer, go play through some synthesizers, it's all over there. I have slowly set up all of my artwork and my memorabilia, got all the guitars placed everywhere, got all the microphones plugged back in, got all the preamps plugged back in, got all the keyboards plugged back in. It's all plugged back in. So you guys let me know what kind of videos you want to see, what you want to hear, what you guys have been wondering about. The Death Star is fully operational, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Why don't you smash that subscribe button already?